What is going on, Dragon Ball fans? Welcome back to another Dragon Ball fan manga breakdown review, where today we're going to be reviewing a fan manga entitled Dragon Ball Multiverse, which is a fan-made manga set within its own timeline outside of the main canon of Akira Toriyama and Toei Animation, involving both characters from Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, as the overall concept of Dragon Ball Multiverse involves universes from all timelines and dimensions to gather together and battle in one tournament in order to determine which one of the many participating universes competing in this tournament will be the first to obtain the prize of the Dragon Balls for their own personal usage, as for many years now I've been reviewing and introducing all kinds of Dragon Ball fan mangas to the world created by the community for the community. So if you guys are interested in seeing and reading up on incredible stories and concepts such as Dragon Ball AF, Dragon Ball Legendary, Dragon Ball New Age, Dragon Ball X, and many others, then feel free to check out the Dragon Ball fan manga playlist in the description box for more videos such as this, as right now we are going to be diving into a brand new manga chapter. As before we begin, if you are new to this channel, hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications to be the first to know when a new video is posted onto this channel, as we kick off Dragon Ball Multiverse manga chapter number 36 with the narration having to state, now we return to the main story immediately following Buu's rampage. The sequel to the flashback will be concluded in a later chapter, as we get to see Super Saiyan 2 Goku standing there in awe and saying this Namek's power is incredible. As we see inside the stadium holder's room, one of the Namekians goes on to state, hurry and send him back to his universe, as one of the tournament holders goes on to state, I'm sorry, but it's still broken. Meanwhile, back at the actual arena, we see how one of the Supreme Kais goes on to talk to Gaston saying, we owe you so much, Gast. You've saved us all, and probably much more, as Gast replies by saying, you can't send them back, as the Kaioshin replies by saying the machine is broken, and so are the backups. We'll send a group back to our universe to get parts, or we could return to his universe and leave him there. Can you hold him for that long? And the blob monster that in fact Gast is holding is Majin Buu, having to follow of course his failed attempt at absorbing everybody. We get to see how all of a sudden Vegito returns, and as Vegito returns, he slowly turns around and everyone seems to be really annoyed at Vegito, as he turns around and asking, so why is everyone so tense? And that's when later on Gohan begins to explain the situation and Vegito's like, I missed all of that? Meanwhile, Dabura looks down at Babidi and saying, Master, you have the powers to imprison this Buu forever. It would be an excellent occasion to get in good with the organizers. As Babidi says, good idea, Dabura. I might use it later. Now shut up. And Dabura's like, okay, Master Babidi. And Babidi's like, my sealing spell would probably imprison my own Buu too. I'm not taking that chance. As Dabura had made the claim that if Babidi were to use his own seal, he can imprison Buu forever, being that Buu at this point is a problem. But Babidi doesn't want to end up risking it because that will also imprison his Buu as well. As we pan back to Super Buu, he's being held by Gast, and we see Super Buu in this giant pink ball of blob, and he looks on over at Gast and saying, sorry. And Gast is like, what? And Buu's like, please give me a second chance. And Gast is like, are you kidding me? After all you said, after all you did? And Buu's like, wait, I have thousands of personalities within me. I won't let them get out of control again, I promise. Let me participate again. I'll behave. Even repair all the machines. You can send me back if I do anything weird. And the other Saiyans that are looking at this are like, the nerve of that guy. This creature is a master of manipulation. And the audience seems to be also giving feedback and saying, no way, that guy's a deceiver, he's a manipulator, don't do it. As one of the other Kais steps up and replying by saying, there is no way we would accept that. But then Vegito steps up and saying, hey, we should totally forgive him. I'll keep an eye on him. And Trunks is like, shut up, Dad. As the Kaioshins reply by saying, taking risks goes completely against our age-old policies. But this is a unique event, and this character is indeed comprised of many different aspects. Buu is used to being the omnipotent god in his universe. There were no rules for him. We shall give him a chance, but we will only release him for the fights though. As the other Kais are completely shocked as Gast replies by saying, Great Kaioshin, I don't intend to personally contain him for such a long time. As the Kaioshin replies by saying, I will handle him myself. As the Supreme Kai says, you could do that? As the head Kai replies by saying, of course, I've analyzed Gast's technique. I'll just do the same. And Goku's like, a technique that amazing can be copied? I thought it was a Namekian magic or something. And and Piccolo replies to Goku by saying, well, he is the greatest of the gods, of course, so he can't do it. As Gast holds up Super Buu, he begins to transfer him over to the Supreme Kai, as the Supreme Kai looks on over and cries out, let the matches continue! And at this point, the two remaining members in the ring currently are Bardock and King Cold, as King Cold replies by saying that was unpleasant, as Bardock looks on over and saying that's for sure, we're both far outclassed by Buu, but even Vegito was eliminated, anything can happen, and regarding this fight, I've foreseen your defeats, and it's not a pretty sight, but it's possible to change the future. I know better than anyone. For example, you could give up, and King Cold replies by saying, you think I'm afraid of an opponent who could see the future? My opponents have no future. As Bardock had a vision of King Cold up close, badly injured and in pretty bad shape having to recover, we see how both of them end up charging each other as Bardock turns into a Super Saiyan and he engages against King Cold. Now at this point, we don't really know how strong either character is, but Bardock did confirm that both of these characters currently are far more inferior to Super Buu and Vegito currently, but being that Vegito was eliminated, Bardock made the insinuation that there is a chance for them to win now. As we see how King Cold and Bardock are exchanging punches, Bardock flies off and saying, such raw power, I have to avoid taking any direct hits. As King Cold is in hot pursuit of Bardock, Bardock looks on over and saying, the bastard won't let me catch my breath, but get too close and you will pay dearly, as Bardock attempts to punch King Cold, but King Cold is able to move out the way in delivering a thunderous left hook to Bardock's face, and this fight so far is heavily favoring King Cold because King Cold doesn't seem like he's essentially trying too hard here, as he wraps his tail around Bardock's leg and proceeds to slam him on down into the ground, but then soon after he picks him up, and that's when he goes on to tell Bardock, so these are the Super Saiyans who supposedly killed us in a number of universes. What a joke. You're totally helpless, hanging upside down, and Bardock's like, upside down? You're the one who's upside down, and as Bardock is hanging, he actually manages to deliver a thunderous right hook to King Cold's abdominals, which of course now Bardock, while being held by King Cold, is fighting King Cold upside down. And I really do enjoy this because while even hanging there, he's delivering kicks and punches, and he manages to break free and kicking King Cold squarely in the face as he turns back around and unleashing a massive blast that manages to catch King Cold in the distance. And it's because of this we see Bardock land down, and through the smoke we see how King Cold is standing there and saying, monkey scum, as Bardock laughs and saying, here, your defeat is getting closer, what? And he looks out as we see King Cold begin to power up and transform, as even Frieza is shocked by saying Papa went to 100% in a single second. How? And Goku looks up and saying, if that Bardock guy wants to win, he's got to hold out until Cold gets tired, as Vegeta replies by saying, that Bardock guy is your father, may I remind you, and Goku's like, for real? That's him? And Vegeta's like, come on, you even look like him. And Goku's like, well, now that you mention it, he does share a striking resemblance to Raditz. And Vegeta's like, you can't be serious, dude. But back on the battlefield, King Cold is washing Bardock up. There is no chance that Bardock could even win this because King Cold comes on in, punching this man directly in the guts before following up by beating this man's face in. And I really do enjoy the aesthetic look for this fight because you can tell based on King Cold having to transform, his body mass is increased, he's much larger than before, and he's beating Bardock around as if he was a helpless child. As King Cold punches Bardock so hard in the face, he goes off flying into the dirt. He gets back up and saying, how am I going to win? Bardock stands back up, and not before being grabbed by King Cold by the throat, but Bardock still has fight within him because although of course Bardock is at a heavy disadvantage, not only did he manage to break away from King Cold's grab and kneeing him in the chin, but also released a massive blast that managed to hit King Cold, but not directly on his body, but more or less deflected off of his shield, in which to protect himself, King Cold knew that Bardock was going to hit him with a massive blast, so he used some sort of a deflector to deflect the blast away as he begins to smile and saying, hey, where is he? Not realizing that Bardock came up from behind him and kneeing him directly in the spine. Which again, having to look at the scope of this battle, it looks and feels so artistically well done that even while Bardock is in pursuit of King Cold, he throws a right punch, misses because King Cold teleports, but then King Cold manages to get on the side of Bardock and trapping him in some sort of energy sphere. And while trapping Bardock in this energy sphere, Bardock goes on to state, I'm stuck, as King Cold utters the words, so long as he proceeds to shoot Bardock down into the ground, and Bardock really can't do anything, but noticeably enough, we see how Goku looks up and he notices that Bardock is coming crashing on down, but then Goku suddenly, surprisingly enough, transforms into a Super Saiyan 3. He creates some sort of a deflector or barrier to hold back Bardock because it looked like Bardock was going to crash directly into Goku and Vegeta, and it's because of Super Saiyan 3 Goku that he broke Bardock's fall. But then the rest of the fighters proceed to make comments and saying, as Cell goes on to state, he just throws his trash everywhere, as Vegito comments and saying, okay, you're one to talk, as King Cold looks down and saying a small gift to all of the Saiyans who still think they're capable of opposing us. As the tournament holders goes on to state 29 and 30, Bardock is eliminated, as Bardock is laying on the ground and saying, I don't understand, I saw him defeated, as Rachi makes a comment and saying, quite a pleasant sight indeed, even if I wanted to take care of it myself, but it matters not. Instead, I get a royal delicacy, as we get to see the tournament holders make the claim and saying Rachi of Universe 3 against Vegeta of Universe 13, in which we close off Dragon Ball Multiverse manga chapter number 36, which again to me felt really good in seeing Vegito return, but it was a little weird to see how Majin Buu was basically begging for his life, as he basically lied to everyone and saying that he had multiple personalities, that he was going to stop. But I really did enjoy the Bardock and King Cold fight because we never truly got to see what King Cold was ever capable of to begin with, but seeing him go 100%, as Frieza said, in less than a second against the Super Saiyan Bardock speaks very loudly as to what King Cold can do, and King Cold obviously was able to put down a Super Saiyan with complete ease. Even if it was a tournament setting match, King Cold proved otherwise, that he in fact is stronger than a Super Saiyan, in this case Super Saiyan Bardock. But what's also fascinating to know is the fact that Super Buu at some given point is still going to be involved in this multiversal battle. Now whether or not he was lying is unknown because we don't know where Super Buu stands, but as of now Vegeta was still there, so he does have confidence in his own team. Despite him having to be eliminated, he still personally feels as if his universe still has the advantage. But also seeing how brutal King Cold was in this manga chapter really gave me hope, because I really did enjoy seeing King Cold be as ruthless as to tell the Saiyans, hey, if you want to oppose us, this is what's going to happen to you. And what's really remarkable is seeing how the other fighters basically have somewhat of a concept as to what's going to happen during this battle, as Cell has yet to test his strength, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, everyone that's currently there has not fully been tested yet, which is very interesting to see where this goes, especially with King Cold now that he has defeated Bardock. So in the end, guys, I would like to get your comments in the comment section below. How did you guys feel about King Cold versus Bardock? Do you guys feel as if Bardock should have won? What are your thoughts on Super Buu? Do you guys believe that perhaps maybe he's planning something more, as he is very deceptive ever since the beginning of Dragon Ball Multiverse up until this very point? What are your overall thoughts as to what's going to happen to King Cold? Let me know your thoughts down below, guys. If you guys have missed out the previous manga chapters, I will leave direct links in the description box below for you guys to go on ahead and check out. Thank you all so very much for watching, guys. Once more, if you guys are new to this channel, don't forget to go on ahead and punch that subscribe button, enable all notifications to always be in the loop and never miss a single video. If of course you guys enjoyed, slap a like down below, tune back in for more. Thank you all so much for watching, guys, once more, and I'll be seeing you all in the next Dragon Ball Multiverse fan manga chapter review. Take it easy, guys. Q, you guys know the rest. My legendary outro, bitch.
This is the Galactic Emperor of the Universe, and of course I'm here to tell you to subscribe to UnrealEntGaming and all his social media platforms. Also, don't forget to turn on notifications so you can be the first to know every time that he uploads a new video.
Oh, did someone say UnrealEntGaming? Oh my god.
The fuck's up, on? Put on some clothes!
Well, why don't you put on any clothes?
What? I don't need clothes. Jesus Christ, that's huge!